They're saying that there is probability mass function. PMF is given like this: px equal to z equal to pj. So basically, it means that probability that my random variable will be taking the value z is pj. Okay, which means like x will take value 1, x will take value 1. This is the probability. Like you can write it x, k, j, whatever you want to say. Okay, so this is the probability that it is taking p1, with 2 it is taking p2, with 3 it's taking p3, like that. Okay, and there are like n possible values it can take, 1 to n, from 1 to n, and that's the probability pn. And obviously like summation has to be 0. That's why it is valid PMF. That's okay. Define the polynomial function, and then they have defined some function gxz. They have defined some function gxz, which is seeming to be z equal to 0 to n pj z over. Okay, for a certain discrete random variable y. Okay, this is full stop. And then for a certain discrete random variable y, there exists a scalar beta between 0 to 1, such that then they have defined for variable x they have defined this, and then they have also defined for variable y this. So they have defined gy like this. Okay, so let me just remove it. Like there is nothing that we will make use of this. So let me just remove this. So gy is defined like this: gyz and gyx. The expectation of y they are asking. Okay, let me just try to find it out. So what is the expectation of y? So let's just say that to find out the expectation of y, I need to find out the PMF of y, right? Okay. For a certain discrete random variable y, there exists a scalar beta such that this. So let's just assume that PMF of y, which means like for expectation, I just need this, right? X, px, and then ranging over x. This is the expectation of x, something like this, right? So we want the expectation of y, and that has to be with the probability distribution over y, right? So basically, let me just assume that PMF of y is just q, which means q of y is taking value 1. It just, so basically the probability, I mean like probability that y is taking value 1, let's just say this is q1. Okay, probability that y is taking value 2, let's just say this is q2, like that. So basically now can you find the PMF, can you find the expectation? Then I think this is easy. What you need to do, all you need to do is this, that 1 into q1 plus 2 into q2 plus 3 into q3, like that, right? This is the n into qn. Right, so this is basically expectation of y. Till now, is this fine? So if I just assume that this is q1, q2, q3, then you can just say that this is the expectation of y, right? So in short, I can just say this. So instead of writing this, I know that I can say this: summation over all the values of y, all the j's, all the values of y, and then qj, right? Then qj. So basically, it is from j equal to 1 to n. You can write it. Otherwise, like I hope that is fine, right? So all I need to do in this question is to find this q. Rajan, y from 0? 0 is for x, basically. Like I do not care like for y, like what are the absolute values. I just assume that to be 1 or 2. This may be from 1.5, from 2.5. I do not care actually about the absolute values. Okay, so let's not care about the absolute values. This is for y, and I do not know any relation between x and y. So let's not care about the absolute values, because I do not know whether the PMF is basically from y equal to 1, it is q1. I'm just saying like for some value, that is the first value that is having the probability q1. Okay, let's not get confused. So you can just take it 1 2 3, but let's not get confused. So for like this is the expectation of y, right? So basically in this question, all I need to do is to find this q's, right? this q. All I need to do is to find is q. For a certain discrete random variable y, there exists a scalar. So, okay, the expectation of y they are asking. Okay, so how to find this q? Now they have given this gx and they have given this gy. Now, can you tell me what should be gy in terms of from this only? Like, I mean, if I just write y instead of x, then it should be from 0 to n. It should be qj z power j, right? See here, this is pj. Why? Because here it is x. So this is the probability of x being j. Similarly, if I'm writing y here, then here it should be qj, right? The way they have defined, I've just replaced it like this. So gy should be qj. Why? Because this is the probability that y will be taking value j, right? This is the probability that y will be taking value j, and here it is the probability that x is taking value j. And because it is x, that's why x is taking value j. But if I just replace this x with y, the way they have defined, I can just write qj here, right? And let's just say that qj is the probability that y is taking value j. Okay. But they have given gy something, gy something. What is that they have given? They have given gy to be something else, which is this also, right? And I'm getting this, and they have given like this. Now, can we do one thing? Can we compare these two functions and can we get the qj's out of it? Okay, before I proceed further, is this setup clear to everyone? So gyz is given, this is given, right? This is given, and this is x, this is x, this is x. So I just replace this x with y. So instead of this pj, I should be having qj, right? The way they have defined this polynomial function. Is this okay? So basically, this gy z I'm getting as summation over j equal to 0 and qj. Qj is what? Qj is probability that y is getting value j, right? Into sorry, z power j, right? Z power j. And this is given, which is this. This is already given, which is 1 minus beta. Now tell me, can you compare both of this to get qj? So basically, can you tell me q0 at least? Q0 is okay, Q0, I think we can't get it directly because Q0 could be anything, but Q1, if I just ask you Q1, Q1, then it is basically from here, it is coefficient of z power 1. So what is the coefficient of z power 1 here? That should be Q1, right? Q0 could be anything, right? I mean, we can once we know Q1 to Qn, let's suppose, then we can automatically find out Q0. Why? Because summation, these are the probabilities. This is the probability of y being 0. This is the probability of y being 1, like that, right? So basically, once we know this, then it is 1 minus summation of all this if we need it. Otherwise, that's okay. Actually, for expectation, we won't be needing Q0 because 0 into Q0 that will be there. But anyway, so Q1 is the coefficient of z power 1 here. So if I get the coefficient of z power 1, coefficients of z power 1 here, then I will be just comparing both the coefficients, then I will be getting Q1, right? Now, can you tell me what is the coefficient of z power 1 here? I think like you have already done this from like combinatorics, right? Do you remember? How to get the coefficient of z power 1 from here? Let me just write the general formula if I remember it correctly. Then this is NCR x power r, right? Which means like this is NC0 x power 0 y power n plus NC1 x power 1 y power n minus 1, like that, till NCN. Anyway, so from here, if I just say that just keep this as x or y, whatever, keep this is in one bracket and then keep this in another bracket, then can you find out the coefficient of x z power 1? Okay, so there is too much of silence. Let me solve it. 1 minus beta plus beta z power n. This is basically 1 minus beta is in one bracket plus beta z power n, and coefficient of x power r. Let's suppose this is y and this is x. So of x power r is what? This is a coefficient which is NCR into y power n minus r, right? NCR into y power n minus r. Now, if I just ask you coefficient of beta z power 1, then you will say NC1 into y is 1 minus beta power n minus 1, right? Power n minus 1. So if I ask you coefficient of z power 1, it will be beta into 1 minus beta power n minus 1 into n, right? Omkar, I think this should be beta also, right? You have missed beta, right? Okay. So yeah, I think it should be beta only. So basically, this is the coefficient of z power 1, from here, and that should be equal to q1, which is a coefficient of z power 1, right? From here. So this is q1. Similarly, let's find out q2. Q2 will be coefficient of z power 2. Q2 will be coefficient of z power 2 here. So what is z power 2 coefficient? This will be, I think, beta square into NC2, NC2 beta square into 1 minus beta power n minus 2, right? Like that I will be having. So okay, so Q3 will be beta q into NC3 into 1 minus beta power n minus 3, right? So like that I will be having. Is this okay to everyone? Like you can find out the coefficients, and then these coefficients are just my probabilities. These coefficients are just my probabilities because from these two equations, right? So if I get all the probabilities, then I can get the expectation. If I get all the probabilities, then I can get the expectation, which is expectation of y should be summation over j equal to 0. Yeah, it should be 0, Rajan. I think you're right. So it should be 0 till n. Anyway, this 0 won't matter, but yes, right? Probability that basically this is probability that y being j into j. So what is the probability? This is qj, right? This is qj. Now j is 1, then 1 into q1 plus 2 into q2 plus 3 into q3. This is what they're asking. Plus 4 into q4, like that. So what is q1? Q1 is Q1 is coefficient of z power 1, which was coming out to be, where is Q1? Yeah, beta into beta power n minus 1 into n. So 1 into beta into 1 minus beta power n minus 1 into n. Right? This is Q1 plus 2 into, what is Q2? Beta square into this NC2 is what? N into n minus 1 by 2, right? N into n minus 1 by 2. So beta square, or let me just write NC2, 2 into NC2 into beta square into 1 minus beta power n minus 2, right? Okay. And then I will be having 3 into n. This is Q2, and then Q3 will be like this, beta cube into 1 minus beta over n minus 3, like this. This is Q3, right? Is this okay till this point? Okay, so now you need to solve this. Can you solve this? Let me just take x as beta and y as 1 minus beta. We have actually solved these kind of equations in data structures also. So it is just basically x into y power n minus 1 into n plus 2 into n minus 2, sorry, 2 into 2 into nc2 into x square into y power n minus 2, right? Okay, can you see some pattern here? 3 into like, actually in the exam you need to just plug in some values and then you need to check the answer. I will show you the shortcut method, but I'm just showing you the actual procedure. This is x cube into y power n minus 3, right? Plus you need to do that. So can you see some pattern here? Do you recall what is this x plus y power n? Like, this is what we know. This is equal to nc0 x power 0. Initially you have x power 0. Okay, so nc0 x power 0 into y power n plus nc1 into x power 1 into y power n minus 1 plus nc2 into x power 2 into y power n minus 2, like that we have, right, till n. This is what we know and this is what we want. What we want is this. This is the quantity that we want. Let's see what is the relation that we can get from both of them. So let me just copy this. Yeah, this is what we want. So let's just see what is the relation between both of them. What can you see? This is, if you just see from here at least, this is x power 1, y power n minus 1, and this is n into x power 1, y power n minus 1. This is nc2, but you have 2 extra here, right? You have 1 here, you have 2 here, you have 3 here, like that. Okay, so I think if we differentiate with respect to x both side, will I be getting 2 into nc2? But yeah, we need to differentiate with respect to x and then multiply by x. Okay, let me write in the compact form. Let me write in the compact form. Maybe this is the here the compact form will be like from r equal to let's say 1 to this is NCR 1 to n, I think. Yeah, NCR into x over r into y power n minus r n into r, right? So r is also there. Okay, this is the compact form that we have here. And here we have a compact form which is NCR x power r y power n minus, this is r, okay, y power n minus r summation over, this is r equal to 0 to n, and here I have r equal to 1 to n. So basically, if you just see, you can you can do it. You need to basically differentiate this, and then multiply by x. Differentiate this with respect to x, and then multiply by x. Okay, let me quickly do it. So if you differentiate this, what you will be getting? This is equal to 0 to n NCR. So what you will be getting if you differentiate with respect to x? Right? This is what you will be getting. I mean, this is equal to x plus y power n, that we already know. So you will be getting n into x plus y power n minus 1, right? And then if you multiply by x, then what you will be getting? This is after differentiation. And if you multiply x, then you will be getting. So let me not do, okay, let me just do maybe. So each term will get multiplied by x, right? If you are having difficulty like how to do it in the summation, you can open up the summation and then see that or like how to differentiate, then club the summation. Okay, so you can open up the summation and then differentiate, then write in the summation form. Okay, so it will be x, if you multiply by x, it will be x into r NCR x power, okay, x is already there, so I mean this will be x power r only, because from r minus 1 it will be r, right, if you multiply by x. So this is y n minus r, it will be n to x and x plus y power n minus 1. Okay, so this is what we want, but and for r equal to 0 anyway this will be 0, so we want from r equal to 1, right? This is what we wanted, right? This is the exact term we wanted, and this is the exact term we got. This is from r equal to 0, but we wanted from r equal to 1, but r equal to 1, but both are same, because r equal to 0 is just 0. So this is the final quantity that we have. So this is the answer, right? This is the answer, which is basically equal to, what is the answer? Nx into x plus y power. So this is the answer, and x is beta, y is 1 minus beta. So x is beta, y is 1 minus beta, that we assume. So this will be 1, I think, right? So you can just say it is n into x, which is beta, right? So n into beta. N into beta is the answer. I think B should be the answer. Everyone got it? Okay. So थोड़ा लंबा हो गया. Basically, नहीं इतना कुछ टफ नहीं था, मतलब like what we, let me just summarize it. What we did, we started from gx, then I was just saying that since gx is given like this, we can also say gy like this if I'm just replacing x with y. Okay, so instead of pj I will just saying probability y equal to j, so yes, this is tricky question, but we can solve this in the exam. Yeah, I will show you how to solve this in the exam. Without even doing all of this, just but for the sake of practice I was just seeing if we can do this. So qj, you can do it, because this is gx, then gy will be like this, then gy is also given like this also. That's the thing, right? And I needed to compare both of them to get this q, and once I get the q, then I can find the expectation, right? So I had compared both of them to get this q, and then I got the q's, and then I found the expectation like this. This is the q's that I got. So once I do this, then again this is this form, then again like I needed to solve this. So this is what we know already. I wanted this, so we needed to just differentiate and then do some multiplication. Okay, so finally we got this. But how to solve this in the exam? I think we can do it easily by just plugging in some value. Let me just take n equal to 1 only. Okay, let's just see that if I take n equal to 1, so at least you are convinced that D is not the answer. D is saying that expectation of y cannot be in the expressible terms in n and beta. So you should be convinced with that. Why? Because you know that gyz is this, gyz is this, and then once you get the q's by comparing the coefficient, once you get the q's, I'm not going to the computation again, but once you get the q, then you know that you can find out the expectation like this. So you can find out the expectation basically. I mean, answer is possible. It's not like answer is not possible in terms of n and beta like that. Okay. So let's just see out of ABC which is answer. So if you plug in n equal to 1, then that x will be just for x equal to 0, the probability is P1, sorry, P0. For x equal to 1, the probability is P1, right? And then n is 1, then gx, then I think it is easy. So if n is 1, then I think you can compare. So if n is 1, then gyz that is given. Like you can just plug in n is 1, and if you want, you can also plug in beta something. But let's not worry about beta. I mean, we can plug in some value of beta also, maybe 0. If you plug in beta 0, let's just first plug in n, and then we will see. So this is 1 minus beta plus beta z over n, right? And n is 1, so this is just 1, so I'm just removing it, right? So this is gyz that is given to you, and you know that gyz is also this, which is, I mean, from whatever is given. So this is j equal to 0 to 1, j equal to 0 to n, but n is 1, and then qj, which is the probability that y is taking value j into qj basically. So it is just q1. It is just q1, right? Gyz is just q1, right? And then this is also gyz. So is this possible? I mean, this is a function of z, and this is okay. This has to be function of z. Is this? 1 second. This is q1. That is okay. This seems to be a function of z, and then this q1 is also function of z. So what is z? Okay. So maybe this is possible. Basically, I mean, it doesn't matter to us for the question. So let's not apply more mind. I mean, I was just wondering that this is a function of z. Like in that case, q1, since q1 and these are equal, right? Gyz is this, gyz is this. So q1 is just 1 minus beta plus beta power beta z. Let me just compare what q1 we got earlier. So this is the q1 we got earlier. If you just put n equal to 1, then it should be beta in beta only, right? It should be beta only. So here I'm getting 1 minus beta plus beta z. Sorry, it is beta or what? Earlier, that is beta, right? Beta, yeah, it is beta, not even 1 minus beta. So it is basically coefficient of z. Oh, I missed it. So it is z power j. Okay. This is z power j into qj. Right. I missed this. This is z power j into qj. Okay. Z power j into qj. Okay. So okay, this is z power j into qj. So this is like if I plug in, okay, let's just start from the beginning. If I plug in the z equal to n equal to 1, then this is the q like gyz that I'm getting. Like if I plug in n equal to 1 here, so this is the gyz I will be getting. And if I plug in z equal to 1, n equal to 1 here, or like from in this formula, so this is the gyz I will be getting. So this is basically this is z power 0 into q0 plus z power 1 into q1, right? So this is q0 plus z q1. Now from here, can you find q0 and q1? Like from these two equations? Just compare these two equations to find q0 and q1. Q0 should be 1 minus beta and q1 should be beta only, right? Which means for probability that y can take 0 value, it is 1 minus beta, and both are 1. Like, I mean, if you sum this up, then this is 1. Okay, take value 1, this is beta. So now just find out the expectation of y, which is uh, 0 into q0 plus 1 into q1, right? Which is beta, right? Beta. So beta should be answer. So for n equal to 1, wherever you are getting beta. Yeah, I think in only option B we are getting beta. You got the point? So in option B only we are getting beta, right? Or there are other ways to solve this. So this, like, you can maybe plug in the value of beta. So let me just try it out. I think if you plug in the value of beta, so to be 1, if you plug in the value of beta to be 1, then the answer should be n, right? So if you plug in, let me just go to the next page. GYZ is given to be like this. GYZ is 1 minus beta. See, you can plug in the value of beta to be 1, right? Because what is the range of beta? Beta is from 0 to 1, which is a closing parenthesis. So basically you can plug in. I mean, there is no problem in that. So 1 minus beta plus beta power z power n, right? So let's just plug in the value of beta. Let's just say that this is 1. Then this GYZ is nothing but z power n, right? I think z power n, yes. Okay. And we want expectation of y, which is, like, it is advisable to plug, I think, value of n also to be something, and also 1. But let's not plug in the value of n. Let's only plug in the value of beta. So it will be z equal to 0 to n j into qj, right? I mean, qj is just a probability that y is taking value j. Okay. So if you compare, I mean, how to find out this expectation? We need the qj anyway. So we need to compare this anyway, I think. So we need to compare this with the formula that we have, which is z power j into qj, j equal to 0 to n, right? Okay, so I think from here it is easy to compare. Like, can you compare both of them? I think everything will be 0. I mean, q1 should be 0 because only z power n coefficient is something, right? Which is 1. So qn is just 1. Everything is 0, right? q1, q0, everything is 0. Just qn is just 1 because at the end it's a probability. So if it is 1, then everything else has to be 0, right? So q2 is 0, everything else has to be 0. Qn, like qn minus 1, everything else has to be 0. Now we find the expectation, which is again n into, like, it will be j into q, so everything will be 0. So it will be just n into qn, and this will be just qn is just 1, so it is just n. So expectation is coming out to be n. So if you plug in beta is 1, then expectation is again coming out to be n. So again B is the answer. Or I think it is good if you put beta and n both to be 1. I mean, just to see beta and n both to be 1. So the key point here is that, like, you need to just observe one thing, that you need to write this also, right? That's the key. Hello, sorry, there was internet problem. Let me share my screen. Yeah, now can you hear me? Okay, so let's see the last way. Now you see that this gxz is given to be summation of j equal to 0 to n, j equal to 0 to n, pj z power j, right? Can, like, can you think of something? Is this, yeah, this is, and basically we want this expectation of y. This will be like jqj, something like that. So can you see that if instead of z, if this could be, I mean j, if this could be j, then what would it be? Instead of z power j is just j, then what it would be? Like if I just write like this, then what it would be? What it would be? This is pj. Remember, this is pj. Won't it be the expectation of x? Won't it be the expectation of x? Tell me. Right? It will be expectation of x. Instead of this z power j, if you just have this j, like I'm just observing this, then it will be the expectation of x. Now you know that how to get this power in front. Like suppose I want to get this power in front, then what can I do? I think I can differentiate, right? I can differentiate. So let me just differentiate this. This will be j power 0 to n. You understand that why this differentiation works. Like basically this is just like you unroll it, differentiate it, then again plug in the summation. So it's the same thing. I'm not doing it for each term. I'm just doing it for general term. So it is for each term basically. Okay, it happens for the each term. So this is j into pj z power j minus 1, right? This is how it works. Now that is okay. But this is unwanted, right? I wanted the expectation, so this is unwanted. Z is some variable, so let's plug in z equal to 1. Right? If I plug in z equal to 1, then I will getting this. Is this okay to everyone? Okay. Now what is given to you? It is given to you like gy z equal to 1 minus beta plus beta power j. This is given to you, right? This is given to you. So what do you observe from this? You observe that if you differentiate this g and then plug in z equal to 1, you get the expectation of x. If it is x here, you want expectation of y. What can you do with this? Won't it be expectation of y? If this is expectation of x, then won't it be expectation of y? Like this is the same thing, right? If we just plug in y, then it will be the expectation of y. So just do this, which means just differentiate this, plug in the value of z. Just differentiate this. If you differentiate it, then it will be with respect to, here you have differentiated with respect to z, right? So just differentiate this with respect to z only. So it will be 1 minus beta plus beta z power n minus 1 into beta, right? So this is the differentiation. Now you plug in the value of z, it will be n into 1 minus beta plus beta power beta z equal to 1 basically, n minus 1. So beta get cancelled out. This is just 1 power n, and this is just np, which is expectation of y, right? So n beta is expectation of y that we are getting. So yeah, I agree. This was a tough question. So let me just call it method 1. Okay. So I agree this was a tough question, but if you just plug in the values, then also you can do this question. Like let's say this is method 2. This is method 2, where we have plugged in beta. We have plugged in n, right? N equal to 1. No, we have plugged in beta here. Beta 2b1. Beta 2b1. So let me remove the confusion. So this is, let's suppose, method equal to 2, where we have plugged in beta equal to 1, right? Method 2. Now there could be a method where we have plugged in n as 1, right? N as 1. This is method 3, where we have plugged in n as 1. Right? This is method 4, which is the longest method, where we have not plugged in anything. So in method 1 also we have not plugged in anything. In method 4 also we have not plugged in anything. Right? I mean, there could be method 5 where we have plugged in both beta and z, beta and n. Okay, so let's stop it here.